بسم الله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Madam Chair, Commissioners, Lead Counsel, Assistant Counsel, viewers and listeners, members of the press, good morning. Welcome back once again for our daily proceedings of this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters. Without further ado, I have the honor to yield the floor to Madam Chair for our next item on our today's agenda. Madam Chair, over to you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I will call on Honorable Sila to lead us in Muslim prayers and Honorable Joyner to lead us in Christian prayers. Thank you.
من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. برحمة الله وصل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أخرى والخاتم لما سبق الناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره عظيم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thou God of truth and love, we seek your perfect way today. Prepare our hearts to receive you alone as we seek your face. We kneel before your throne of grace as we filthy vessels, as filthy vessels. Wash us from our iniquities and cleanse us from all unrighteousness. We bring our heart desires to you. Take away shame and reproach from us. Let us not be confounded. We lift our cups for you to fill them, Lord. Let our enemies be silent as you continue to bless us in abundance. We appreciate you, Father. Send your guiding angels to go ahead of us, and may everything we desire be turned into a reality this day, henceforth and even forevermore. Amen. Good morning, Madam Witness. You may kindly take your seat. Madam Witness, for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters, may I remind you once again that you are still on the oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed. Thank you, Madam Chair. Over to you.
Good morning, Madam Mayor. Good Lord Mayor.
Good morning.
You're welcome back.
Thank you.
Council, can you please proceed?
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Chairperson, and welcome back, Honorable Mayor. We're discussing the vouchers in relation to payments made to you through Fatu Bega, the Assistant PRO, Banjul City Council.
Very well. Then I believe ñu ngi si vouchers yi nga xam ne def nañ ko fee si sa tur yi nga xam ne fee nañ ko si Fatou Mbengue nee na si yooyu lay nekk bi léegi.
Wow. The voucher in relation to the payment made to you through Fatou Mbengue.
nee na voucher bi nga xam ne def nañ fee yi te fee nañ ko si yow te ku ko fee muy Fatou Mbengue.
The number is 220000199.
nee na number bi boobu la ma wax ni 2200199.
Now, that payment of $5,000 is paid to her.
nee na waaye fee boobu soo ko seetee njëg bi mooy juróomi téeméer $5,000 juróom junni.
Was a request raised on your, as a result of a request raised on your behalf by the Assistant Public Relations Officer?
nee na te soo ko seetee Mbengue moo ko bindee waaye daf ko bind on your behalf mooy si sa kaw sa tur.
And the money paid to her.
nee na te xaalis bi fee nañ ko si moom.
Did the recipient receive this money?
nee na ndaa ñu war a xam ñi nga xam ne ñoo war a jot xaalis bi ndaa jot nañ ko.
Waaw yaakaar naa war nañ ko jot nañ ko.
Yes, I think they got the money.
Now, who decided the amount that was to be paid to her?
nee na léegi njëg bi nga xam ne fee nañ ko Fatou Mbengue kan moo ko xalaat nga xalaati kan la si ka xalaati kan la jógee.
Amount bi ñaata la
waaw. $5,000.
si kan nañ ko fay.
nee na kan moom xalaat boobu bu toog mun a xalaat ne njëg bi la ñu war a fay gaay mooy $5,000.
Is for support to Janki Sonko of Tali Dauda for the upkeep of her children.
Janki Sonko ka nga xam ne mu ngi nekk Tali Dauda.
Wow. Upkeep of her children.
nee na pour nga gis ne naka la moo toppatoo xaalis doomam yi jàppale moo toppatoo doomam yi.
comme li ma wax rek foofu li fa manqué mooy kon Janki kayit bi nga xam ne moom la indi boobu Fatou soo bàyyi xel attachment soo yëpp comme disaster bi ñaamoon disaster liñ laajte ak yeneen yëpp attachment soo yi moo fa nekkut.
The only thing that is lacking here is the attachment. So as I said, because Fatou Mbengue, I believe he did the payment, but there is nothing like attachment. So the attachments therein are lacking.
And let's proceed.
What I want to say,
lima foofu
and what I think from the
te bindoon na ne xëj na lii ak lii laa soxla.
Janche
bindoon na ne lii ak lii laa soxla pour ñu dimbale ma.
Janche wrote request so that and demanded what she needed so that you can do the assistance or help them.
So foofu suma ooyee CEO waxtaan ak moom.
There I called CEO and have a discussion with him.
moom dina ma guide pour wax ma ne lii lañ ko mën a defal.
Then he'll guide me to say, this is what we want, this is the way we want things to be done.
So you decided this together with the CEO? Yeah.
Then yow ak CEO na toog ngeen xalaat affaire yi njëg bi xaalis boobu noonu.
Any request bu ñëw rek dama dee oo CEO pour mu guide ma.
Any request that comes, I do call CEO for guidance.
So
ma guide ba pare dinaa ko minute wax ko ne ko pour mu facilitate.
And after, whenever he guided already, I will minute it and pass it to say, let them facilitate it.
So you decided how much should be paid?
Then kon lii sa xalaat la si yow la jógee ne ñaata lañ leen war a jóg.
Comme li ma wax rek guidance of CEO su ma wone su kooku indee ne lii ak lii lañ bëgg.
As I said before, yes, through the guidance of the CEO, whatever he advised to say, we want things to be this, we want things to be in that way.
Dina ma wax li mun a nekk ak li munta nekk.
And the CEO will advise me of what will happen or what will not happen.
Now who decides the amount?
Then a léegi xaalis bi njëg yi kan moo ko decide?
Mooy comme li ma la wax rek moom suma guide ne ma lii mun naa nekk lii munta nekk.
As I said, whenever he guide me, he will tell me this could happen or this will not happen.
Yeah. Guidance is not binding.
Then a society pour ñu jàppale la wala guide la mu xelal la boobu moom is not binding.
Waaw comme su nit ñëwee ne dama bëgg a mat la.
When somebody came and said,
dama bëgg a mat la. dama bëgg a sponge.
I need a sponge, matla. Okay, I need a sponge.
dama bëgg a saako maalo dama bëgg a diwlin.
I need a bag of rice. I need oil.
CEO dina seet ne ok li gën a urgent xëy na mooy matla bi.
Then the CEO will see maybe the most urgent thing is the bed, the matla.
mu ne maalo bi moo gën a urgent.
And maybe he will say rice, it's more urgent.
Now, who decides how much? Will the CEO advise you and you take the decision as to how much, or is the price determined by the CEO? That is what I am asking.
Nena legi mu gëna buga tal wax bi moy kan si halat kan la joge pour wax ne njëg bi lañu wara joxe da yow sa bopa wala yow so ko waxe CEO su la advice bobu la day wax ne nañ jël njëg.
Wala la wax des mu ne nañ ko jëndal sponge.
That is what just I'm trying to tell the when if he said to choose to say let us buy the mattress.
Dinaa ko minute ne ko nañ ko jëndal sponge.
I will minute that to say let us buy this mattress.
Now who decides?
Nena kon si halat kan la kan mo de halat lool.
Is it halat kan la? Is that the most correct translation? I don't know, but it appears. My question is, who has the final say?
Nena legi kan mo ane kar bu mujjé bi.
When I advise X,
nena mom comme mom legi su helale keneen.
Or X is seeking guidance from me.
Wala X mom solo nak ay bi xamni pour mu jappale ko mu guide.
That means whatever I say,
dafa melni mom lepp lo xamne wax nako
is still subject to the X's approval.
Nena ba legi de mom lepp li nga xamne wax nako def na si mom li nga xamne mom def gis nako de waaw li dafa war wala war moy
so because you use the word guidance,
nena yow yange use word bi moy guidance.
I'm now asking who finally decides the amount.
Nena legi mom lu moy laajte moy njëg bi nga xamne bobu lay joxe kan mo si halat kan la bay.
Waaw man dinaa ko wax ne ko nañ facilitate 5,000.
I will say to him that let us facilitate 5,000.
So there 5,000 mu fa.
If I told there is an amount of 5,000.
Mu feel ne mënuñoo facilitate loolu.
And he feel that we cannot be able to facilitate that.
Dina ma wax ne mënuñ ko facilitate.
Then he will tell me that we cannot be able to show.
So the decision is yours.
Then I kon dafa melni halat bi si yow la joge ya ko mom.
Man dinaa ko
Ya decision. Very well, yes.
Decision is yours. I don't know how the best word, but I know it's not halal. Halal
Then I kon kadu bi si yow la bay. Yow ya ko jox kadu ndigal pour mu def ko. Ndigal bi si yow la bay.
Waa dinaa ko jox ndigal waaye nekkul ne ndigal bi mooy moom loolu la war a jël su fekkee ne xaalis banque ba dina ko def sama xaalis ne ko dina ma ne mënta nekk.
Yes, I do give him finance, but sometimes it depends on him. If there is less money, he will tell me that yes, but there is not money for such.
Yes. So that is the role of the CEO. The CEO should do that. I had told Mr. Bachin that he does not do that when it comes to you. I had told him outright, he will be coming back to testify that he is a rubber stamp when it comes to his relationship with the mayor. In fact, we find most of the CEOs in most of the area councils, their relationship with their mayors or their chairman would be more of like a rubber stamp because of the fact that they either misinterpret or intentionally misinterpret the provisions of the law that it says that the CEO is directly answerable to the chairman.
Nena lu moy bantuat fi moy nena Mr. Bachili ñew na fi de mom si bopam war na ko nena te dina ñewat dina mo war na ko fi ne yow nek nga ko xamne sa digante ak mayo bi sen sehat bi dafa melni yow lu ñew wa robastam si mayo yi nena te du mom kenn de nena ay nit yu bari la fi ay area council yu bari nena soko sété mbir mi yeb ben la de neka robastam ci sen mayo yi lu mu le wax da nga gis ne ñom tamit wala lu ñu wax mayo yi loolu la ñoo taxaw dal di doxal mbir mi nena mom dina ñewat fi de.
So do you have
legal?
No, it's still on that question. You would answer. Have you had a situation where the CEO will tell you, will meet to you back that this request cannot be honored because of financial issues?
Nenanda lulu musna hai wala musna am sa digante ak CEO burunga yo nga dal di decide dara wala nga wax ko ne nañu dépense nangam mo mu dal di la bind di la won ne waaw dégg na li nga wax waaye duñu ko na def lu tax mooy xaalis fa nekk amutu ko nee na loolu mun na la ko bind musuna la ko bind bu wala
lead council loolu du jeex du xaaj.
That is too much. That will never. It's not small. It's a lot of time. Plenty, much time.
How am I in council today? Why don't I know the CEO Akman?
Well, I don't know for other councils, but I want to tell you the CEO and myself.
Heated debates in the
The debates we used to have,
fooguma ne benn council sax daf ko dee am na CEO yam.
I don't think there's any council which used to have that type of debates among them.
dinaa la woon ne vouchers yi nga gis nii.
And I want to assure you that these vouchers you are having there,
vouchers yi ñu reject sax moo ëpp yi fi nekk.
the voucher,
vouchers yi ñu reject moo ëpp yi ñu jot.
the vouchers that are rejected are more than what is before you.
The ones that you have sent for payment?
Then you have the favor.
waa xam nga li tax
Yes, but you know
li tax doo ko mën a gis.
the reason why you cannot be able to see them.
because anything lu ñëw si suma table bi.
Anything that comes to my table,
bala ma ko minute.
before I meet it,
dama ko dee oo moom.
I used to call him.
suñ demee ba mu d'accord ne ok lii la.
And whenever we go and he agreed, yes, it's this.
ABC dañ bugg a scholarship.
ABC, they need a scholarship.
bi dañ la war a defal lii.
Sports, we need to do things for them.
du ma musa minute dara te ooyu ma ko.
I will never meet anything without calling him.
respect ko dama ko jox ba mu doy.
I gave him that respect.
dinaa ko
I'll call him to say,
ne ko lii ak lii request yi lañ am.
this and this request, that is what we have.
mu ne ma baax na may ma ñëwaat ma xool.
And he will say, good, let me come and check.
su ñëwee dina ma wax ne ba lii mun naa nekk lii mënta nekk.
Then whenever he comes there, then there he distinct things to say, this can be able to happen, or this cannot.
most of the time yi nga xam ne mënuta nekk.
Most of the time, when you know it cannot be possible,
dinañ ko delloowaat seen borom mi ñu dem.
you will just return it to the owners.
or you just disregard ko si office bi noonu.
Or we disregard those things in the office.
waaye
That would not be the usual way.
Then alone do what I your bomb then put no la mode.
And so because it's not the usual way,
Then I saw the no.
like you said, we would not see any voucher
Then I come out go ahead and do come like doing this voucher you have.
that will emanate from the CEO
Ingam then you get your CEO.
as a matter of request from your office
Ingam ne muna ya usabo ya request.
that would
It's
have
office.
that would have been torn down based on availability of funds.
Then I you get to go turn down to tamo and dig ambulance finance my fund.
And so if we don't see that,
Then I you go is
evidence will be
then I got evidence before I want it before I come away.
is that vouchers that are from your office are approved.
Then vouchers yep you have the joker and office that you approve that you know.
So if you see 1 or 2 or 3 samples
Then I saw that sample
that you have sent to the CEO
Bingam ne yow sa bopa yoni nga ko si CEO
in the usual way,
and CEO bingam ne bu wat
the CEO minutes on the voucher that, well, we cannot approve this payment because it's either not budgeted for or there are no funds.
nena CEO mudal yu bin di wone ne bi de mom dañ duñ ko mëna doxal dañ ko reject lu tax moy da bokul si budget bi wala xaliss ne
Then at least that would show evidence of the degree of independence.
nena bobu lu moy wone moy dina wone ne degala taw ka bi ngam ne taw ngeen sen bopa te li ngeen def yeb dafa war dafa jaar ci yoon
But what we see
nena way ñu ñu ci
is when mayors or chairmen write
nena mayor la wala chairman suñu bindé
requesting for money,
di laajte fi xaliss
it is always
dina mom kay mom dañ ko bobu mom dañ ko ne naaw
the vouchers we see.
nena loolu la gis
lii council
Please cancel.
dama bëgg nga trust li ma la wax naa la du ma ñëw fu ma wax la dara loo
I want you to trust my whatever I am saying here because I told you earlier on I will not come here and tell lies.
wax naa leen ne ay mistake am na
I know and I told you I agree that there was mistakes.
te li ma la wax nii tey
And what I'm telling you today,
suma deputy mayor bi ak suma CEO bi ñu ngi maa déglu di present CEO right now
my deputy mayor
and my CEO present
CEO, they are listening to me presented.
waa Banjul
All those from Banjul,
ñu ngi maa déglu
they are listening.
ba tey tradition boobu moo fa nekk
And still with them, we had the same trend.
anything loo xam ne indi nañ ko si suma kanam
Anything that they brought before me.
am na ñoo xam ne sax dama leen dee oo ci kanam CEO bi
There are certain people, I used to call them the president of the CEO,
am na ñoo xam ne su ma leen dama oo CEO bi si seen absention
and some of them, they witness that they are there. I call CEO, they are in their present.
ma waxtaan ak moom
I discuss with him,
mu ne ma lii mun naa nekk waaye lii mënta nekk
and he used to advise me, yes, this can be possible, but this thing cannot.
su ko defee li nga xam ne moo mun a nekk
What he pointed to me,
man
possible,
ma minute loolu
then I minute that
man ma jox ko
and pass it to him.
su ko defee ki nga xam ne moo ñëw ut si dara
And the person who came to, who make a request to find something from us,
ku xam suñ internal issues si naka la fa demee sax.
then that person will not know the internal issues how.
The only issue is
Then associate li ñuy wax fi issue bi mooy.
without documentation.
nee na li nga xam ne def leen ko si kayit.
Without documentation.
nee na kayit su amul su fekkee ne def na kayit.
Because payments are supposed to be backed by documentation.
nee na fay moom soo gis xaalis su mu dugg rek nee na kayit moo ko war a baax mooy documentation.
We would not know.
nee na ñun ñu mun a xam.
And this is the only way we can know.
ano te loolu rek moo tax ñu mun a xam.
We only deal with documents here.
nee na kayit rek la ñoo diiral ñun mooy documents.
And so, whether I believe or not, like I said yesterday, there's a high chance that I believe you.
nee na comme démb lu mu waxoon fii na moom nangu gëm na ko wala gëm ko nee na waaye moom wax na ko ne moom mun na am chance mu gëm la wala mu du la gëm.
Someone may not believe you.
nee na waaye keneen mun na du la gëm.
But for the purpose of the hearing,
nee na waaye ba nga gis ne pour mbiri dégluwante bi mooy hearing.
especially payments,
nee na mooy affaire yi fay bi.
the issue is about documents.
nee na mbir mi yëpp mooy kayit.
So we move on to the yes, go ahead.
Yes.
waa lii council man dama la nangu loolu depuis démb ma ne la.
I was saying that since yesterday.
am na yoo xam ne tey man ko fay jànga.
That I'm learning a lot here.
waaye li nga wax affaire yi documents ne affaire yi xaalis affaire yi payments ñi nga xam ne.
But we're talking about documents, monies, and payments.
dañ leen delloo.
The one that we return,
ñooñu joxuñ leen dara.
we don't give them anything.
xëy na yow li nga bëgg a establish fii.
Maybe what you want to establish here
mooy ne the CEO is a rubber stamp.
is the CEO is
ne anything
CEO is rubber stamp.
anything lu ñëw rek.
Anything that comes,
dang dee gis ne mu ngi ko okay.
then he will feel okay.
dama bëgg laa woon ne am na yu bari yoo xam ne.
And I want to assure you that there are many things of that
okay wuñ ko.
it was not okay.
But those are not
exactly
those are not within.
waaw.
For instance, let me help you.
Nee na mu jàppale la.
Like when you write a request,
Nee na soo bindee request.
there will be minutes on the request.
Nga daal di am minutes request bi.
Now, for instance, if your office is sent a letter,
Nee na su fekkee ne sa office dafa yónni letter.
it has to do with, let's say, donation.
Nee nga mu mel ni pour affaire yi donation.
The usual way is to minute and send it to the CEO.
Nee na lu war mooy nga minute ko yónni ko si CEO.
There will be evidence of the process that is followed.
Nee na da nga gis ne loolu dana am evidence loo xam ne yoon bi nga xam ne boobu ngeen
Whatever
bokk.
the CEO wants to say about that particular payment,
Nee na lépp li nga xam ne CEO bëgg na ko wax si mbiri fay boobu.
he will also write.
Moom tamit dana ko binda.
And if there is availability of funds, perhaps based on the advice from the finance director,
Nee na waaye su fekkee ne xaalis bu fa nekk wala comme finance director joxe na advice.
it will be stated.
Nee na ko binda foofu.
And then that's it.
Nee na noonu la moo dem.
They like today,
Nee na bés bu mel ni tey.
we look at this document.
Nee na kayit yooyu la ñoo seet.
And so when we look at this document,
Nee na suñ seetee kayit yooyu.
we will see all the communications.
Nee na danañ gis waxtaan wala bindante bi nga xam ne yëpp def ngeen ko.
And that's it.
Nee na loolu la.
In the absence of that,
Nee na waaye loolu su fekkee na loolu amut.
oral evidence regarding what may have happened,
Nee na waaye waxi laame yi nga xam ne wax ngeen ko li nga xam ne loolu mooy xewoon.
go to no issue.
Nee na loolu moom da nga gis ne du am benn njëriñ wala du am taxawaay.
That is why we are focused only on document.
Nee na lii moo tax ñu fii kayit bi lañ toog.
waaye li council.
Lead counsel.
noonu la dee demee di su ñëwee man dama ko dee minute to the CEO.
That is how it works. Whenever it comes to me, I minute it to the CEO.
Because here you are talking about a particular case of Fatou Mega.
Because here we are talking of a particular case of Fatou.
Where as Fatou then for you impress.
That Fatou was given an impress.
What is a one-off about only Fatou Mega?
That was one of only Fatou Mega.
No, you said earlier
Then I did
that we would not see the vouchers that were the requests that were rejected.
Then I knew requesting
And again, don't hesitate to correct me if I am wrong.
Then I will
That the reason why we will not see that is because when requests come to your office,
then I request in your office.
You will call the CEO. Sit with the CEO. And the CEO may tell you, let me go back and come back and we can discuss it. If the payment is not honored, maybe there is no money. Those will be perhaps sent back
dena yooyu da ngeen ko yónni mu delloo
or whatever.
ak lu leen ko mën a def
But then we wouldn't, because they are not paid,
because feyuñ leen
he would not see any voucher or minutes on it.
noonu duñ gis voucher yooyu wala minutes yi fa ne
So because you said that, that's why I said
nee naa
we do not know that.
yow wax nga woon loolu lii moo tax mu ne ñun de duñu mën a yëg loolu duñu mën a xam
Only know what has been written on the request.
duñu mën a xam rek mooy loo xam ne feeñ na suñu kanam te bind nañ ko mooy kayit
You
loolu
understand?
nee naa foofu moom leer
The other voucher
nee naa beneen voucher bi
is for cash impressed for the rental of chairs and tents for the town hall meeting on Saturday, 5th of March, 2022.
nee na boobu cash express la express bi nga xam ne boobu pour jëndal ay toogu jënd ay bagages mooy weeri month of January
5th of March, 2022.
5th of March
At Federal Street,
mooy Fijara Street
$15,000.
mooy njëg bi mooy fukk ak juróom junni 15,000
The request again raised in the usual way
nee na request bi soo ko seetee li ngeen ko dee defee noonu ngeen ko defoon
on behalf of the Lord Mayor
nee na ci sa tur
for $15,000.
$15,000
How did you arrive at this amount?
naka ngeen xalaatee ba jot njëgi boobu mun a fukk ak juróom junni
Yeah. So the issue is because it's raised in her name.
nee na soo ko seetee moo ne soo ko seetee mooy because soo ko seetee lii dañ ko bindal si sa tur
Okay.
yes okay
Already asked the question. I said, how did you arrive at the amount? That arrive to the amount of $15,000.
nee na loolu naka la demee ba ngeen am njëgi boobu nga xam ne dem na ba mu njëgi bi dem na ba 15,000 la
That yesterday, they ma wax naa la ko.
I wouldn't know that because I told you yesterday. I told you that.
Li xale yi di def si ay ren toogu ay yooyu duma ko xam.
What they use or the genius to renting chairs for buying petty things, I cannot be able to
Because wax
No.
dëgg yàlla dem ma si rentukaay toog.
because I don't go to where they rent chairs.
Waaye su fekkee dañ ko bind suma tur.
But if at all it was written on behalf of my name,
Boo xam ne foofu la ko faatu di binda.
but it must have a name where Fatu must wrote,
So binda na ko si suma tur.
and she did it in my name.
I take full responsibility of it.
I take that responsibility.
Yes. But, well, the issue is, it's not Fatu's role.
And I mbir mi mooy nekkut Fatu du yoonam.
Fatu is public relations officer,
Na Fatu moom liggéeyam mooy public relation officer.
not a procurement officer.
Nekkut procurement officer.
Waaw loolu nangu naa ko.
Yes, I agree to that.
Xëy na su fekkee ne as the PR CEO bi assign na ko ne ko demal def lii.
Maybe for her as a PRO, but it was assigned to her by the CEO to say, let you do this.
Because foog mu am fi assign faatu.
Then you see,
Ne ko responsibility bi yaa ko war a jël.
somebody must assign Fatu to say this
She said
response.
you assigned her.
Non, ma ne su dee CEO bi assign na ko ne ko yow yaa war a jël this role.
I'm saying if, for instance, if the CEO assigned her to say, I want you to take this role,
Yow yaa war a jël role yi organize sangam.
you will go to this place and make an organized there.
Léegi mu ñëw ci man
And she came to me
mu bugg a xam lan lañ soxla.
and she wanted to know exactly what and what did we need.
So obviously dina soxla toogu.
Obviously, we will need chairs
Te leneen ak leneen.
and we need so etc. etc.
So mu def ko mu binda request bi on my name.
Then she did it, wrote the request on behalf of my name.
Te foog naa démb wax naa la ko.
And I think yesterday I elaborate on that,
Ne la si suma tur la ko binda.
that she wrote the request on my name.
And I take full responsibility of it.
And I do take the responsibility.
Fatu said that she was instructed by the Lord Mayor.
Then Fatu moom wax na ko ne loolu loo xam ne yow loolu mais yaa ko instruct pour mu def ko.
In some instances, she will be instructed by the CEO.
Nee na am na jamono yoo xam ne léeg-léeg tamit CEO moo ko de instruct.
And for the memo as well will speak for itself.
Nee na te memo bi si boppam moom dina wax ko biram.
That it is on the instructions of the mayor
Nee na mooy yow sa instruction bi la si.
that I demand this amount.
Lii moo tax mu daal di laajte jéegi bi amount bi.
And so that money
Nee na léegi xaalis boobu
that is demanded,
bi nga xam ne moom si boppam daf ko demand
that is supposed to pass through a different channel
bi nga xam ne dafa war a jaar si beneen yoon
and it's passing through the wrong channel,
te mu ngi dem yoon boo xam ne mu warut
not happen proper.
nee na te loolu nekkut loo xam ne dafa war.
Do you understand?
nee na understand nga loolu. yes.
The chairs that are rented and the tents that are rented,
nee na toogu yi ak tent yi nga xam ne da ngeen ko luwaasoo.
you may say it is just they're just chairs and tents, a small program.
nee na soo jëlee toogu yi ak tent yi pour programme boo xam ne nekkul programme bu mag.
But there are so many people I know in Banjul who rent chairs and tents.
te xam naa ne ñu bëri ñoo nekk Banjul ñoo xam ne dañoo luwaas toogu yi ak tent.
The law requires that they have equal opportunity.
te loolu bi moom si boppam moo tax gis ne ñooñu yëpp dañu war a emal benn opportunity.
Do you agree with that?
nee na nangu nga loolu.
110%.
110%.
And this defeats that purpose.
nee na te lii su ko seetee lii dafa defeat purpose boobu de solo.
Do you agree with
110%.
110%.
the other issue?
nee na beneen mbir mi mooy.
Is the person going to rent these chairs?
nee na koo xam ne kooku moo war a joxe wala luwaase toog yi.
May benefit financially from it.
nee na mun na njëriñu si xaalis.
But it did not pass through the usual way.
nee na parce que soo ko seetee jaaratu yoon boo xam ne bu war.
Do you accept?
nee na nangu nga loolu.
Council.
Lead counsel.
foog naa man dama la ko waxal ba mu set ma ne la.
I think I have explained to you clearly.
Point A su wrongee.
I told you
soo
what
demee
point
dafa wrong.
A, when it is wrong, if you go to point C, it will be wrong.
So from A to Z.
From A to Z,
ma ne la man jël naa responsibility.
I told you I get the responsibility.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mun na jël ñu.
When we go to the other voucher,
Then I dem si beneen voucher.
we have a $69,000 is payment. It says allocation for the catering of dinner to entertain council visiting mayor of Ostend, Belgium, and delegation. $69,000 was paid
Then a
for
69,000
catering and dinner
fengen ko pour catering ak reer bi mooy dina.
for the visiting mayor of Ostend
Then a mooy visit mayor of Ostend, Belgium,
and delegation.
ak delegation am yi ñi nga xam ne ñoo ñu ànda.
We have a request
Then am nañ fa request
for catering of dinner
for catering of dinner.
raised again the usual way from by the assistant public relations officer for all the vouchers we are dealing with now.
Lii nag voucher yi nga xam ne yëpp yi nga xam ne loolu la ñoo wax biram yi fu mu ne nii.
Would be from Fatu Mbenga,
nee na danañ yooyu yëpp jógee nañ si Fatou Mbeng.
assistant public relations officer.
mooy assistant public relation officer.
If we are to change to another set of vouchers,
nee na su ñooy wécci dem si yeneen voucher.
I will let you know.
nee na dana la ko yëgal wala ñu def loolu.
Now, it reads on behalf of the mayor of Banjul.
nee na léegi lu fa nekk mu ne lu ñu wax fii nee na si yow si sa ron yow mayor on behalf of mayor of Banjul.
I write to request for the following payments.
nee na mu ngi bind di laajte ay chèque.
For the catering of dinner with the visiting mayor from Ostend City.
nee na pour affaire catering kan bi nga xam ne mayor bi ku war a jógee Ostend City.
3 ship.
nee na 3 ship.
$30,000.
nee na ñetti xar. $5,000.
5 canned drinks.
nee na 5 canned drinks.
$5,000.
$5,000.
20 packets of water.
20 packets of ndox mooy ndox.
$2,000.
$2,000.
The chef.
The chef.
$5,000.
$5,000.
Musicians for entertainment.
nee na mooy jëweli musicien yi.
Big Mo.
Big Mo.
$6,000.
$6,000.
Cora. $6,000.
$6,000.
You present or buy one Cora
I present or buy one Cora.
as a gift for $3,000.
mu ne nga jënd benn Cora $6,000.
4 drums each.
nee na ñeneenti sabar.
Each costing $3,000.
nee na bu nekk mu ngi jar $3,000.
Making it $12,000.
mu ne lépp mu ngi nekk jéggi yooyu mu ngi nekk $12,000.
Now, when the request was raised,
nee na request bi ngeen ko bindoon.
the payments were made.
nee na fay bi dafa amoon dañu fay.
And the money was given to Fatu Benga.
nee na te xaalis bi da ngeen ko jox Fatou Benga.
Now, how did you arrive at these figures that 3 ship will cost $30,000, that 5 canned drinks, I know it's canned drinks packet, not one, but 5 packets of canned drinks will cost $5,000. That will be $1,000 per packet. 20 packets of water, $2,000. So this 5 crates of canned drinks, not packets, sorry. 20 packets of water, $2,000. Chef, 5,000 musician. How did you arrive at these figures?
léegi soo ko seetee njëgi bi nga xam ne boobu la wax fii mooy 9,000 naka la demee ba ngeen am njëgi boobu soo seetee te yow li nga wax mooy ñetti xar yi da ngeen ko jëndee $30,000.
foog naa lii biñ ko organise sax fekkutuma fi.
I think when these things have been organized, I was not down. Yeah.
I came in the middle of the organizing committee bi bi ñoo defar.
I came in the middle of the organizing committee when they were doing their own decision.
Most of the liñ doon def ni yëpp dañ ko discuss ak the EU project team bi councillors yi ak ñoom ñëpp ñoo toog.
All what these activities they were preparing, it was something that they all sit together and discuss with the EU members and councillors. They all sit and had a discussion on that.
Because to understand more, they wanted to have a dinner for him at the Kuku Ozo by the sale.
All what I knew was that their intention was to go to Coco Beach to have the dinner there, but it was expensive.
So you know they go there for local.
No, they then later said they want to make it local.
Ocean. I believe the witness.
Coco Ocean.
Wow.
Yes.
So hopefully you're gonna defend dinner.
That is where they wanted to have dinner.
When you like it was expensive.
But the amount there it was very expensive.
So they decided to go to local.
Now they decided that they will make it locally.
If I remember the smoker like
if I could remember, this dinner was done in my compound. Some of the people came along with they bought seats, somewhat. Canned drinks. I know, I have no idea. All I know is the event. Because my compound is very wide. I entertain them for them to come and make it there. But how they come to buy these chips or whatever things, how much it cost? I know the person who went to buy these chips brought the chips to my home. He's a councillor.
So nakala price.
But how they arrived at the price? I have no idea.
Why again?
But again, as I said, Fatu raised the voucher to the request through my name. And Fatu, when she's writing a request, she must write it on my behalf. It was only yesterday that I became understand that they should write this voucher through the name of council.
So
for me, what she was doing, I thought it was nothing was wrong there.
No, man.
No, Mangla was very combined.
Yes, I just needed for the.
What I'm trying to make clear is that because it was written on my behalf. I have never thought that the way he's writing on my behalf was wrong. Fatu is my junior. She was under me. This is why I said to you,
man, take no responsibility.
I have taken all the responsibilities.
Just to correct that part.
Then I put on a correct part.
The idea of raising a request by anyone in council or anyone outside council is not wrong.
Nena, correct la. Nena, could a request. She told it. Nasi council la, wala city council. Nena,
so anyone can raise a request.
You
can raise a request for a payment that is lawfully supposed to be paid to you. Maybe it's a salary or it's your personal emoluments. The financial manual dictates all payments and how it's supposed to be done.
Financial manual
payments that are supposed to be subject to procurement should pass through the lawful way. So you can raise the request. But the money paid to you, that is where the problem is. I don't know whether we're on the same page.
waaw mooy li ma la wax ne lead counsel ma ne la
Yes, as I said, I told you, Pastor.
takku suma tur
Fatu have raised it
jox nañ
on
Fatou
my name,
jox nañ Fatou xaalis bi
and monies were handed over to Fatu,
xaalis bi dem nañ jënd bagage yi
and they took the monies and went to purchase all these items.
xam nga man duma xam ndax procurement moo ko jënda ndax Mr AOB ñoo ko dem def
I will not know whether it passed through procurement or A and B done it.
man fi ma mun a em mooy
Where I be able to, where I can stop is that
lii laa soxla
this is what I want.
naka lañ ko defee
How do you do it?
mënuma daw si seen gannaaw toppalu wutam
I will not be able to follow them to know exactly.
The issue
What?
is
Nee na mbir mi mooy
when as the mayor
nee na comme ya mayor
or as council
wala councilor
or as CEO
wala CEO
or as not council as
council very well
or as CEO
wala CEO
or finance director,
wala finance director
these people,
nee na ñi
these offices,
nee offices yi
they are supposed to know how council is supposed to be managed in and out.
nee na ñoom dafa war pour ñu xam council bi naka lañ ko war a manager si biir ak si biti yëpp.
The general council,
nee na general council
when they go to elections,
nee na ñoom suñ demee election
they win their various seats.
ñu dal di win seen toog yi
They come and sit at council.
ñu ñëw si council toog
It is their job to
Then I-
know how council should be managed in and out.
nee na loolu seen liggéey la te dafa war seen warugal la pour ñu mën a xam council bi naka la moo manager daa si biir la wala si biti.
Chairman, mayor, mayoress, as the case may be,
nee na chairman mayor su mu mënta nekk
when they are elected, duly elected,
nee na suñ leen électé si yoon
and they are now occupying the office,
léegi yéen a ngi amee seen office
should know the management of council entire.
nee na dafa war pour nga xam council bi manager bi entire
Same applies to the CEO
nee na loolu tamit di same loolu benn yoon bi la si yow tamit lu warugal boobu moo nekk si
and finance directors.
finance director
So that is why
nee na lii moo tax
the payments, the manner in which payment is supposed to be done
nee na yoon bi nga xam ne war a maanaam bi nga xam ne fee bi noonu la war a demee wala noonu la war a noonu lañ ko war a defee
is embedded or captured in this clause.
loolu yëpp da nga gis ne loi bi yëpp mu ngi ko amee mu ngi ko wane mu ngi leeral foofu yëpp nu mu war a def
So that it is clear that when a payment is not properly done,
nee na loolu moom dafa leer ne fee soo fee li nga xam ne àndut wala jaadut fee bu jaadut
the law would have already told you that the manner in which the payment was made was wrong.
nee na te loi bi wax na la ba pare ne yow fee boobu bi nga xam ne def nga ko àndut ak yoon
So not mayor, having this procurement been conducted by your office,
nee na procurement bi su fekkee ne da nga ko dool sa office bi ñu kondo ko si sa office bi
even that culture itself
nee na da nga gis ne even culture boobu noonu si boppam
is what is unlawful.
nee na nekkul ne loo xam ne àndut ak loi bi
Do you understand?
nee na leer na si yow
waaye li council
lead counsel
Fatou nekkul suma office de
Fatu is not in my office
Fatou is part of the admin
Fatu is part of the admin
so su fekkee ne xam naa kon dafa mel ni benn tey yow understand loolu li ma la bëgg a explain naa
maybe I know still it's not clear to you what I'm trying to
am nañ ex programme
we had a program
the CEO man am naa suma wàlla CEO am na wàlla
I have my part CEO have his part
CEO decided ne Fatou Menga kaay yow laa bëgg nga liggéey ak mayor bi ci ABLC
but then the CEO reason is that Fatu Benga come and attach yourself with the mayor you can work and go ahead with that
Fatou Menga toog na the office of the mayor ñu plan ne ñun suñ function bi nii la war a demee
then Fatu Benga came to the office of the mayor seated there and we make a plan that this is how we want things to work
Fatou will go back to the CEO
Fatu will go back to the CEO
mu explain na ko ne ko function bi nii la war a demee nii laa demee
explain to him that this is what the type of function we want to do things.
mu ñëw ci man
She'll come back to me.
mu raise a voucher
Then a voucher will be raised.
so naka lañ def after loolu naka lañ def
After that, what we normally did,
ko xam
or what they normally do, I will not know.
So both the mayor and the CEO would have adopted a very wrong procedure.
Nee na what dafa mel ni CEO ak mayor bi yëpp da nga gis ne ñoom yoon bu ñu jël ne fa nekk yoon boo xam ne yoon bu bon àndut
waaw nangu naa
jubut sax. Yes, I agree.
moo tax ma ne la
That is what that is the reason why I say
Fatou defu dara
Fatu did nothing.
Fatou is just a messenger.
Fatou was just a messenger.
Boo xam ne moom moo nekk si digga bi.
And she's the one in the middle.
And moom li mu doon def.
And what she was doing
At that time.
at that right time,
mu feel ne mu doon def lu baax.
we feel that we were doing the good things.
We had agreed to that.
Nee na nangu nañ si.
She's an agent.
Nee na moom nekk na agent.
For the most part.
Nee na si mo you name your
In fact, her evidence is such that.
Nee na moom soo ko gisee bu mu ñëwee fii lu mu wax mooy.
If I recall well.
Nee na su fekkee ne mun naa ko fàttale ko bu baax.
There were times that she will sit. I think, where is her office?
Nee na am na jamono bi nga xam ne daf dee toog nee na ana office am bi fan la nekk.
Is it close to your office?
Nee na ndax seen office yéen a dendoo.
It's a CEO.
Close to CEO.
No, it's close to your office.
Nee na xanaa dafa dend ak sa office.
It's close to CEO.
I say it's close to CEO.
That is not the question. The question is whether it's close to your office, because I would not know the proximity between your office and the CEO's office.
Nee na loolu du laajte bi mooy na moom si boppam du mun a wax parce que xamul sa office nee na mu ngi laajte ndax Fatou office am bi ak sa office bi duñ jegeñante. No, Fatou's office is right at the main entrance.
So it's not close to your office.
Nee na kenn office ñaari office yi jegantewuñu. I know when she's coming to me, she'll get to me before getting to see you.
Is it close to your office?
Nee na ndax seen ñaari office yi
What would you say is close to your office?
We are all close because Banjul City Council
we are all close because the Banjul City Council is very tiny.
So it's correct to say Father's office is very close to your office.
Nee na kon dafa war pour ñu wax ne seen ñaari office yi yéen a dendoo.
Yes.
Yes.
That is important because her evidence.
Nee na loolu dafa am fayda dafa important nee na because moom evidence am yi fii lu mu wax fii.
Is that sometimes for some of the monies that are paid to her.
Nee na am na jamono yoo xam ne xaalis bi nga xam ne dañ ko defee si moom.
And she will just hold it.
Nee na moom dina def ko dee téye.
And wait for directives from the mayor.
Nee na pour mu déglu directives yi nga xam ne wala yow li nga xam ne loolu nga koy xelal.
If the mayor says pay X.
Nee na mayor su ko ne fayal kale.
She pays.
Mu fay.
Pay Y.
Pay Y.
She pays.
Mu fay.
The amount.
Nee na njëg bi mooy amount.
Would also be communicated to her by the mayor.
Nee na mayor moom ko wax nangam wala nangam nga war a fay kale.
In fact, when I examine.
Nee na moom si boppam bu mu ko examiner.
That sometimes as well, when people will come to your office and after a discussion, you will come out and tell her, give this amount to
am na jamono nga xam ne am na ñoo xam ne dañoo ñëw sa office sax kaw ñu waxtaan ak yow wala nga waxtaan ak ñoom su paree rek nga génn taxaw nga ne ko ma ne joxal X nangam.
And she will just note it down.
Nee na moom def ko dee binda.
Does it happen that way?
Nee na parce que
does it happen that way?
Nee na du dee amee du dee demee noonu.
Amul benn yoon boo xam ne.
Does it happen?
Nee na ndax loolu def dee xew. Loolu moo dee xew foofu.
Fatou any xaalis boo xam ne impress boo xam ne am na ko.
Any impress that Fatou had.
Already impress boobu dafa am fu mu war a dem ba pare.
That impress is already half a way or a place to go already.
It's not like Banjul City Council dañoo jël xaalis bi def ko si mbuus rek nag Fatou am de.
It doesn't mean that Banjul City Council put money in a bag and give it to Fatou to say.
Fekk nañu am a request.
There must be already a request.
A B C D E.
For A B C D E.
Xëy na su fekkee ne ñooñu ñëw nañ sa office bi fekk ma fa man.
For instance, if they came to the office and found me there.
Te Fatou xamut leen.
And Fatou does not know them.
Mun naa ko wax ne ko kii mooy Fatou or kii mooy Aida.
Then I can say to him or her, this is Fatou or Aida.
But not just like fayal Demba fayal Fatou.
But not like pay to Fatou or pay to Demba.
And fooguma ne moom tamit noonu la mu ne waxam bi.
Then I don't think that is how she mean what she was. The evidence she was.
So fekkee ne
am na ñu am na def ko moom.
Request si Fatou xaalis bi moo amee yëpp dafa am a purpose la.
The money that is in Fatou's hands is for a purpose.
It's either Hadis B A, is for Patrick B, is for Mary C, is for Fatou D, is for Zainab. Why can Muhammad Zainab, Muhammad Patrick?
If, for instance, if she don't know Zainab,
if
Patrick comes to me, I will then call her and say, this is Patrick.
Because from the request
of the finance director.
Then I will only finance director.
And his team. Why is the job? Allow me. I will always, I always allow you latitude to talk. 100%. That is the job of the finance director
nee na lii mooy liggéey finance director
and his team.
ak teamam bi
Paying out cashier
nee na am na ñu ngi ko amee pay out cashier
and receiving cashier.
receiving
You
cashier
have accounts clerks.
am na account clerks
That is why there is segregation
nee lii moo tax ñu am foofu
of duties.
segregation of duties
So that
nee na su mun naa gis ne
the mayor does not make payment.
mais yow warta def fay bi
Because what you are saying now
nee na léegi yow li ngay wax fii mooy
is payment made by the mayor.
nee na fay bi nga xam ne mais yow moo ko fay moo ko def
And maybe you did not know.
te mun na nekk yow xamuloo
Like you said, that it was wrong.
nee na comme ni nga waxee ne xamuloo ne loolu jubut wala àndut
Whichever the case is,
nee na du mu
whichever the case is, whatever the case is,
nee na du mu mënta mel
that process is wrong.
nee na yoon boobu nekkut yoon bu baax yoon bi jubut
The mayor cannot be a paying out cash.
nee na mais yow mënta nekk paying out cashier
Legal counsel,
nit kas
they are going to try to generalize all the payments made of the council.
you are trying to generalize all the payments that was done at council
Fee, we are dealing about a particular issue, Moi Fatu Menga.
here now we are dealing with a particular issue that is that of Fatou Menga.
Then a mistake, we just say Fatu Menga,
The mistake that we did in Fatou Menga,
doesn't make the mayor a cashier or a paying out cashier.
that does not make mayor a cashier or a paying out cashier.
I mean, tens of thousands of vouchers.
We have tens of thousands of vouchers.
Your hamne go to direct the cashier or the
Directly at the cashier or the
Okay, let me rephrase.
Then I'm on
Let me rephrase.
then I have change like the
Let me say you are correct.
then I'm more than a linga wipe digger.
I was not generalizing,
Then I never could generalize it.
but let me use the more specific language.
And a lady have we get like a specific language.
That the payments that were made through Fatum Benga,
Then I'm saving up definitely got a fat walk of the vote.
instructions given by the mayor,
More instruction mayor John.
those payments
Then I fail you.
are wrong.
Then I under your
That the mayor should not be a paying out cashier.
then a mayor wants to make a pay out cash.
You know, I had said earlier that for what we are dealing now,
Then I'm more the Fandango Bujel Bujakane, living up the Lola Negati, Simbiram Negis.
it's only for the vouchers raised by Fatum Benga through your office.
Then a Lulu Negana Hamne, Piri vouchers of the Fatum Benga, walk up in the sister office, sister office.
That if I am switching to another set of vouchers or other issues, I will let you know.
Nena, why should the Buga Vishi Buga Sipen affair, we have no book than a legal.
So my comments are squarely on the vouchers of Fatum Benga.
Nena, convillegi, lepping up the one of a neighborhood, the Fanaka Home, the General lady, the Fanaka affair Fatum Benga.
So all these payments
Then a fay yip.
that, based on what you have explained in these payments,
Chikau yo sabo pa lingaw si affair fay.
we are performing the role of a paid out cashier.
Nena lumuwan mo yaw the family ligay bi nga nekkoon di def nena nekkoon sa ligay dafa nekk ligay pay out kasi
And that is contrary to the financial.
nena te loolu soo ko gisee dafa act financial manual
Legal counsel,
because
tey laa jàng fii tamit ne su fekkee dañ la jox impress.
today I learned that if you are given an impress
Impress, you need to give it to the cashier
the impress should be given to the cashier
for me implement ko.
for implementation
Because the money is given to Fatu,
because the monies that were given to Faro
were all impress,
were all impress
meant for certain activity
meant for certain activities
or for certain payments.
or for certain payments.
Léegi woon nga ma ne loolu waratoon a demee noonu dañ ko war a
Now
cashier bi.
you have corrected me that that's supposed not to be, it should be paid to the cashier.
Nangul naa la ko.
I agree.
Su beneen yoonee suñ drawee impress.
The next time when it happens, there is an
Dañ
impress,
yóbbu ko si cashier bi.
I will tell them, take it to the cashier.
This is classified as an impress.
Then a lead you go classify as impress.
As per the, sometimes the voucher will say it is an impress.
Then a voucher will sometimes another one is an impress.
The request does not say that they are requesting for impress.
Then the one request be more, I'm going to that. Say nothing I'm the one and you get request for impress.
The request is for payment.
Then a request be we want more for favor.
Now let me just assist you with this.
Then I wish I had a
For instance, if the request says the request for catering of dinner on behalf of the Mayor of Banjul, I write to request for the following payments.
The request is why on behalf of the Banjul mayor, Bunge request Fabi to catering.
For the catering of dinner with the visiting mayor from Austin City.
Yeah, catering be more program with dinner be mayor become the Mungo Joke Austin Yodino Tekakan.
And it tells you how much the mayor is requesting.
And the full model like the one one mayor be has Jackie Bingham, the sea hands below one yata more like that.
It's not requesting for an impress.
Nena Lee Karubi, they put the Bunge request impress.
Do you agree with that?
Nena Nangalo.
Waaw xëy na ñun ñoo ko ñun dañ ko jàppee comme ne impress la.
Yes, we thought that it was just like an impress.
So it is not an impress.
Then a little impress.
Now, when they approve the voucher,
Then I would approve a voucher.
that's why I said that to the CEO that he is a rubber stamp.
Then I leave what on the CEO will over stapler.
They will classify this as an impress.
Then I leave then go classify as an impress.
And they will say, being disbursement as the cash impress allocated for the catering of dinner.
Now investment cash allocated for the dinner. My has go up there and then go in the putting up the two affair.
But what do you understand by an impress?
Then I also put my law impress.
Impress comme léegi may war a tukki for example.
Now, for instance, impress means, for instance, if I intend to travel,
ñu jox ma xaalis.
they give me money.
Ba pare xëy na jox ma incidental dara si kawam.
And maybe they give me incidental something on top of that
Impress
as an impress.
su ma ñëwee ma retire ko.
When she comes back, she retires.
And whenever I come back, I can retire the money.
Now, there are several payments that they will classify as an impress.
And I'm not saying she putting them there that's got to the impress.
And if monies are raised anytime,
I can't speak am there, so then go get it. Well, again, it has what to go next.
paid to the mayor
Fair see mayor.
by way of impress.
See you on you go impress.
Do you agree with me? It's not correct accounting policy.
Then a lot of so man na go kasi mo na lolo na got accounting policy mo ham na video wala buwar. Correct.
Because impress
Then I impress.
will suggest
Then a lolo na wala na.
that there is an emergency.
Then I the fufu am na emergency.
And I will explain.
Then I tell na leral fu.
But these payments are not paid based on emergencies.
Then I fair bit ang is na fair bingen def na good aye fi emergency.
You agree with me that before the mayor of Ostend is to come to Gambia, you would have been aware.
Then I mula egal wala so nang wesi mo bala mayo bi joge extend ñew Gambia dafa fekk yow yeng nga.
You agree?
Nango galo.
Li council. Define what impress is. So
I define what is that.
Impress.
So automatically
Why ñun ñu ngi ko doon treat moo tax ma ne la.
we were treating it. This is why I told you
Xëy na not even man.
possible it was not even me.
Why admin? Because it's not me writing their impress or Fatu writing their impress.
It's not me writing the impress or Fatu writing the impress.
But the term being used as impress.
But the term they use as an impress.
Tey woon nga ma fii ne ma loolu mënut a nekk impress.
And now you saw it to me that cannot be an impress.
And many times.
And many times too.
Any money they pay to somebody else.
Any money that is paid to someone else.
Start as an impress.
Is just divided as an impress.
Where does the fault lie?
Is
it council's ignorance?
The
mayors? Or the CEOs?
Or
the finance director?
Or
all of them? Because the laws are there. The manual is clear. Like today, I have never worked for council. Never read the financial manual. When I have to do this job, I know I have to read the financial manual. So, where is the problem? So that I know how to address the problem. I think as mayor for 2 terms, where do you think the problem lies? Because we're dealing with finances of council.
Then a lady, let's go have to more problem if I buy a group as chaos or set a nigga come here to the billiard times. And a problem if I can die.
Problem with councils.
The problem of councils is many.
So in this case, on choice of wardens, number one.
It is choice of wardens. Number one.
xëy na yàgg nañ di use impress.
Maybe they will using this word impress.
They keep using the term impress.
Boja, Mr. Bojang, you can ask the witness to kindly repeat what she said if you haven't heard what she
Very
said.
well.
So you barely you don't use impress, right?
Still they are using impress.
My question is,
They don't like to be more like a boy.
if what is done is contrary to the law,
They are like they can go to definitely go under that law.
starts you pick up the financial manual.
Negi show you the financial manual.
Please give the mayor a copy of the financial manual.
Then I put you all up there.
You turn to page 52.
Nga turn to page 52.
You will see, but before that, you turn to page 19.
Then I check out page 19. Yes.
The first you see on section 305 is authority for expenditure. Do you see that?
Then I'm looking for authority for expenditure.
Are you there?
Wow.
Then I for yes.
An example, this tells you
Then I saw that
that the CEO has the power to authorize expenditure.
Then a CEO, I'm not done.
The mayor has the power to authorize expenditure.
I'm not done.
And the council has the power to authorize expenditure.
Council, I'm not done.
But the council must pass a resolution to decide what is the limit for either the CEO or the mayor.
Then why council the forward resolution become neighborhood that one and Luneka Fanga Jan mayor will see CEO.
So when I hear the chairman or the mayors or the mayoress always saying that we don't have the power to decide payment.
Then a legi mom sude chairman diwa wala mayor wala mayoress wala CEO di one yo amuñ dole pour de fay.
I ask myself.
Then a mom defte like
Did they not read?
Hala jangu.
Did they not read the text?
Then hala jangu text bi bu de
Some they know but they ignore.
Wala xam nañ ko waye dañ ko de buñ ko de topa.
You look at section 306.
And associated section 306.
It tells you monetary threshold in emergency cases.
Then a monetary threshold in emergency cases.
And then you see payments done anyhow. You ask the question. Is it that they do not know? Because they didn't read it? Or they knew? But then it is not intention. You turn to the page 25. Page 25. It tells you how to control expenditure.
Yeah, so they page 25.
Again, you ask the same question. Lastly, the payments on chapter 5, page 28.
And I also said in chapter 5, page 28.
Lord Mayor, this will tell you all the different type of payments.
And I for
development or non-recurrent expenditure.
Development non-recurrent expenditure.
Operating or recurrent expenditure.
Operating on recurrent.
Go to the next page. It tells about classification of payments.
Classification of payments.
The same page will tell you about procedure for payments and expenditure. Are you following?
Yes.
And it tells you about salaries.
Wages.
Page 33, other payments.
Then so the page 33
Page 34, purchase and supplies.
Then I saw them 34 gender bagage and supply bagage.
Office expenses.
Bagage has become the office.
Moves on and on and on.
And then the top part.
Right? Now, when you look at that,
then I saw that
we now turn to page 52.
Then I got them see number 52.
It tells you about impress.
Nena fufa mu ngi wax affaire impress.
What impress means?
Lan mooy impress.
The procedure for impress.
Nena yoon bi nga xam ne boobu nga war a jël impress.
Everything involved around impress.
Nena lépp loo xam ne dafa bokk si yëfi
Cash.
Nena soo déggee petit cash. Next page.
So now the question is, if we are to manage our institutions,
Nena léegi laajte bi mooy ñun suñoo jaga suñ institution yi wala mën nañ def.
not be familiar with this?
Nena ba pare ñun xamuñ wala duñ dee toppa bopp bi.
No,
Miinuñ ko.
no. Should we not be familiar with?
Nena xanaa warut pour ñu xam biiri bopp bi wala ñu toppa xam lu fa nekk. Yes.
So what is the problem as to why we are not familiar with it?
Nena kon lan a mun a tax ñun mënuñu ko toppa ba mun a xam lu fa nekk.
Li council.
Loolu culture.
Foog naa démba xam nga you were talking ndeysaan it's very very difficult pour man ak yow ñu understandante.
Yeah, it's very difficult for us to understand one another.
Why is that?
Nena lu tax ñu-
From the book.
you are talking from the book
And this is not xam nga yaa ngi wane ne mayor say lu tax ñuy wax ne amuñ doole.
because you are telling us about what the mayor says that they don't have the
In
power.
the case of expenditure.
Yes, nena simbiri expenditure
Yes.
the parts.
And I wish ne
Nena mom si boppam I wish that
li nekkoon ci bi
what was in this book
loolu moo doon play in council.
that was what was played in council.
Foog naa da nga war a understand ne in councils
But I think you need to understand in councils
doole bi finance director si am
the powers that the financial directors have
doole yi CEO si am.
and the powers that the CEOs have.
Take it from me ne mayor bi amul loolu.
Take it from me that the mayor does not have that power.
I cannot agree.
yow doo
Then I do not believe.
waaw
I know, yes,
because mooy comme li ma wax rek
As
nekk
said.
si position bi
yes, you will not agree, but as I said, we are not in position.
you are honest enough pour ne
You are honest enough to say
yow you go by the book.
you go by the book.
Yes.
And gis nga lii
And you see this
pour finance director si ak CEO si
for the finance directors and CEOs.
I can tell you in most cases
And I will tell you, in most cases,
kay buñ leen jox la rek
it's just a book that was just a book.
Why you say the finance director and the CEO are more powerful?
Then I looked, dole bi CEO ak finance director.
What do they
ñoo gën a am doole.
that you cannot control?
Nee na ñooñu lan la ñu war a def wala lan la ñoo def li nga xam ne yow doo ko mën a contrôle.
Or what do they do? What? Yes,
Spanish.
we'll give you the time.
Nee na nañ la jox jamono.
What do the finance director and the CEO do that neither the in place in relation to payments?
Nee na lan mooy loo xam ne CEO def dinañ ko def moom ak director of finance li nga xam ne mën na nekk biir àndut ak affaire yi fay.
okay
No.
no understand naa loo wax
Excuse me.
Yes, it's just for the record. Tell the witness this chairperson.
Yes. If the witness is going so fast, Mr. Bojan,
Very.
please tell her to slow down
Slow down.
so that you can interpret
Very.
correctly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Mayor.
not wow first and foremost
Let me just guide you here. The reason why it is important for the interpreter to get it right.
Nee na soo gisee dafa am fayda pour nga wàcc kaw ma dégg la.
No, I said the reason why it is important for the interpreter to get it right
Nee na soo gisee dafa am fayda pour man ma dégg la wala ma jot li nga xam ne wax nga.
is because your evidence is important.
Nee na because yow li nga wax nekkati wax fii dafa am loo xam ne dafa am fayda trop.
And so it is recorded.
Nee na te duñ toogee nii am na loo xam ne daf ko record.
And so we want the witness to say as close as possible what you are saying.
Nee na da nga gis ne moom lu mu gën a bëgg wala ñun ñëpp luñ soxla fii mooy li nga wax ma wax loolu.
So that your evidence will be recorded
Nee na da nga gis ne li nga wax loolu la ñu record.
accurately.
waaw
kon si mu jub.
first and foremost
First and foremost,
mayor bi amul dara lu mu mën a def council
mayor have nothing that he can be able to do in council.
absolutely nothing
Absolutely nothing.
te CEO bi
And CEO
or management bi ànduñ si
or the management does not agree with her.
if they want to frustrate the efforts of the mayor
If they want to frustrate the effort of the mayor,
loolu jëlul leen dara
that is not, they will make them nothing.
Give us examples.
but there
I
are
don't know even an example.
but there are 1,000 things
There are 1,000 things.
ñoo xam ne ñoom mën nañ ko def te mayor bi du ko yëg.
that they can be able to do without the consent or the knowledge of the mayor.
dinaa la jox a few examples.
And these examples, I'll give you a few examples.
Former finance director.
Our former finance director.
yéen ñëpp gis ngeen naka la doon lebalee boppam xaalis.
You all see how he was in the crediting himself money.
musuma ko yëg benn yoon.
I have never been aware of that.
Why?
It was because dañ ma ko nëbba duma ko xam.
Because they do hide me, I will never be aware.
wax naa la ne luñ bëgg ma xam loolu lay xam.
As I told you, what they want, they wish me to know, I will do. But what they don't.
Let's discuss that part. If the finance director is giving himself money loan,
and
it takes more than a year for the council or the administration to know, do you blame the finance director? Or do you blame the council and the bosses of the finance director, the CEO, council, mayor, and the council?
Council ngay blame wala ñi nga xam ne ñooy njiiti finance director mooy mayor bi wala
no finance director bi ngay blame moom ngay blame ndax council or mayor or CEO.
And the financial director blame bi si kan la ndax financial director ngay blame.
Let me
wala council ngay blame mayor wala CEO.
Let me take that again.
If
the finance director is to give himself loan,
then a finance director will level
and it is wrong,
and
it takes a year or 2 or 3 before the mayor or council knows about it. Do you just blame the finance director alone? Or does the CEO, the mayor, and the council have a share of the blame?
Wala so blame, danga blame council, nga blame CEO ak mayor. Ñom tan dañoo bokk ci blame.
Jëlut at pour xam ko, pour ñu xam ko.
It doesn't take a year before we know what happened.
Dina si gërëm national audit.
I will congratulate the national audit.
Because am na yu bari yoo xam ne ñoom buñ ñëwee.
Because I know many of things when they came.
That
was the time it was placed in front.
No, when you said why that you knew about it here,
then a bigger question. And if you look
at the timeline that the loan was given,
then and
your point that sometimes you may not even know about it for a long time. That's why I asked that question. Because there would have been a breach in administration. From the council all the way down to the day-to-day administration, not the CEO.
Wow, the council.
The council. I think I have said here, I will not know anything that does not inform me. If anything he want to block so that I cannot know, I cannot tell totally, I will know. Unless I get it down or get it from the doors, then I will call him and ask him.
There is investigators.
And then the investigators, well, like for instance, if your investigators don't want you to know many things, you
no way I can tell you. Ask them.
Then they did. When I got like
no chance.
No, I'm totally mentions.
Do you know why?
Then I'm going to.
Do you know why?
Then I'm going to.
Because administration.
Then administration
is structure. It's effective control. I know the job 10 times more than that. In fact, I do what I want them to do. And I check them. I oversee them. So back to the issue. The law says that there should be a supervisory role that exists between the chairman or the mayor in your case, the mayoress,
nee na loo xam ne dafa war a nekk seen diggante di mayor di mayoress
in the administration of council.
CEO in the mooy management administration of council.
And the tools are there
nee na te bagage yi tools yi ñu fa
for you to utilize
pour yoo xam ne yooyu ngeen war a doxal
and have information,
pour ngeen am xibaar
relevant information.
xibaar yu war.
You see, if your finance director does something that's wrong,
nee na finance director su defee loo xam ne warut
the institution is there for you to pick it up.
nee na institution bi mu fa pour yow nga war a koy nee na boobu xonta
These are payments.
lii xaalis la bi nga xam ne fay na
Accounts are there.
accounts mu fa
The budget is there.
budget mu fa
Internal audit is there.
tàngoo ji mu fa
Procurement unit is there.
procurement mu fa
There is no chance
nee na foofu amul benn yoon
that there can be a serious violation of payment procedures
nee na xanaa mu nekk loo pour mu nekk loo xam ne yoon bi nga xam ne dafa garaaw pour bàyyi gannaaw yoon bi nga xam ne tey bi noonu la ko tëralee
and you should not.
nee na te yow da ko yëg
So yow gëmuloo ne finance director bi lu moo lebal boppam xaalis yëpp man yëguma ko.
so which means you don't believe that when the financial director was crediting himself money I was aware oh
I believe that.
yes nee na loolu la ko
What is the point?
Di council.
No, what is the point on that?
nee na lan mooy point bi
No, dama laa woon rek ne la. Xam nga wax naa ne
I saw you that
ñun mayor si mënuñoo def dara. Sorry. The mayor of Banjul mënut a def dara.
the mayor of Banjul cannot be able to do anything
Su neexutee the CEO and the management.
without the consent or without the management and the CEO agreeing to it.
My point is
nee na moom fu muy jublu mooy
the lack of knowledge
mooy ñaaka xam
is a break in administration.
nee na loolu nekk na kal si bu mag si administration
Something is not going right.
am na loo xam ne nu mu war a jaaree mënut a jaar foofu dafa kal
Dama nangu loolu.
I agree
Because wax naa la ne.
I told you that
Fekkee ne I told you that the finance directors and the CEOs.
Finance-
The finance director.
directors
These are the omega and the alpha of councils. Ni mooy dëgga.
No, they are not.
that is the truth that
Why?
nee na dëgg
Okay.
Gannaaw
Councils-
mama narratal la rek tuuti.
No, you will come back to it. Let me just disagree with that point. Councils,
na aramu wet la foofu tuuti da ngaa gën a
alpha, omega of councils are the politicians.
nee na soo seetee council su fekkee ne alpha mun na nekk tànk ak loxo yi yëpp mooy politicien
So how we call the finance directors and the CEOs?
nee na gis nga ne moo ooyee affaire finance director ak CEO si
They aid and abet. They help the politicians. They help the politicians.
nee na moo ñooñu ñoo nekk ñoo xam ne dañ leen dee jàppale politiciens
Council.
pour ñu nga gis ne ñu mun a leen a réeral
I tell each of them
nee na ñoom ñëpp la
in various area councils.
nee na area council yu bëri
Because, for instance, KMC,
nee na soo seetee nañ jël KMC
let's give you an example.
mu jox la foofu exemple
The evidence we have that
nee na evidence yi nga xam ne yooyu lañ am
you don't have that problem when it comes to a CEO. You don't have that problem.
nee na yoo am loo problème soo ñëwee si CEO
But if they don't like a CEO, you are gone.
leen ñoom suñu bëggut CEO bi nga xam ne bëgguñu ko yow dem nga
You are gone.
yow dem nga
If the mayor does not like the CEO is gone.
nee na mais su bëggut CEO bi dem na
We have seen the problem with Senator Matter.
nee na gis nañ problème si dem parti
So many things that she don't agree with.
def na lu bëri li nga xam ne ñun nanguñu
We
ko
told her here.
wax nañ ko fi
In fact, there are so many faults.
am na ay yoon yoo xam ne fault yu bëri
The permanent secretary made so many faults.
permanent secretary tam bokk na si ñoo xam ne def nañ fault yu bëri
We agree with that.
loolu yëpp nangu nañ si moom
But what is also true,
nee na waaye tamit dëgg bi
if they don't want the CEO,
moom ñoom suñu bëggut CEO bi
you are gone.
yow dem nga
That's the reality.
nee na loolu dëgg la
And we haven't seen that with you.
nee na gisuñu doon saboo
We haven't seen that part with you.
nee na gisuñu part boobu
Let me say, I have not seen that with you.
nee na léegi ñu wax ko sa bopp
So-
nee na moom mu nit ko sa bopp
Power that council has
nee na doole bi nga xam ne council am na ko
is unlimited.
nee na boobu amul fu mu em
Yes, it's unlimited. So you can proceed.
nee na mu
Li council.
nit ka
Banjul City Council.
Banjul City Council
Su ma la waxee ne la the finance directors yi ak the CEOs ñooy di omega and alpha gom ma man.
if you say the CEOs and the financial managers are the omegas of the Banjul City Council,
Finance director.
finance directors, please believe me.
And to be quite honest,
And to be quite honest,
munuma sikalu bachili si lu bari sax.
I don't have much commission or ubiquity on Bacheli's side. Much.
Xam nga wax nga ne ku bugut sa CEO mu dem ku bugut sa lii mu dem.
Because you said if you don't want the CEO, he gone. We don't like that part, he gone.
Man dama leen wax ne Banjul City Council is a dumping ground.
I want to show you that Banjul City Council is a dumping ground.
Man dama toog ñu génne suma CEO.
I was there, my CEO was moved.
Génne suma finance director.
No, I said on that part. I said on that part. Your area council.
Area council.
We have not seen you making effort to remove CEOs. But I have said in KMC, we have seen the power of council being shown. Or the mayor, when it appears that they don't like to work with a certain CEO. But we haven't seen any evidence on your part that you did not like a CEO, and therefore you are making effort for him or her. So you can proceed.
wax naa la naka la finance director bi doon lebalee boppam xaalis ba muy dem ay $1 million.
Yes, lead council. I told you how the financial director was crediting himself monies up to an amount of $1 million.
bi moo génn Banjul City Council.
When he was leaving Banjul City Council,
dem na ak almost $1 million.
he went along almost $1 million.
xaalis boobu ba tey mënuñ koo jël si
And that monies were not recovered from him yet.
man toog naa ma tukki.
I traveled.
ma tukki ñëw.
I came back.
ma fekk finance director bi indi fa nit.
I found that the financial director have brought somebody there.
ma laajte kii kan la.
I then asked, who is this person?
ñu ne moo war a nekk di collect suñu revenue bi.
And I was told that it's the person who's supposed to collect our revenue.
And immediately dama ko wax CEO.
Immediately,
ma ne ko CEO.
I went to the CEO and I said to CEO,
benn revenue bu ees boo xam ne.
I don't see.
City Council war nañ ko mën a am pour ñu indi nit mu collectal yi.
I don't see any new revenue which we can engage or employ this man to collect that revenue for us.
ma ne ko leena dinaa la ko wax tey.
I tell him that one thing I will let you know that today.
kii su suñ biir database bi ñun.
That this man and the new data that came.
foofu laa dem di jëlee ji xaalis.
That is where you will be going to collect monies.
Banjul dafa ndaw.
There's no place. Banjul is tiny.
amul fenn moo dem foo xam ne dina ne dafa génne lu ees.
There's no place where he can go and create a new fund or revenue.
CEO mu ne ma daf ko yóbbu council.
But CEO told me that he took him to council.
Council ñoo ko nanguto.
And it was council approval.
te man lu ma la advice mooy.
And my advice to you is.
comme que yóbbu na ko si council si nangu nañ ko.
As far as you have taken him to council and it was agreed.
mu ne ma yow bàyyi ko noonu.
Then he said to me, you leave.
I agree with you.
Then I'm not gonna see her.
ma complain loolu lead council ba soona.
I complained that to council for many times.
mënuma ci dara ma bàyyi.
I could not be able to do anything.
At the end of the day.
And then at the end of the day.
kooku dafa dem ay millions la yóbbuwaale.
When he went with a lot of money, millions and millions.
fekk defut dara.
And did nothing. He done nothing there.
gisuma benn dara lu ees loo xam
I see nothing new that he created.
mënuma ci tus.
And I could not be doing anything.
ma tukkiwaat ma ñëw.
I traveled again and came back.
ma ñëw fekk fa benn jànq bu fa liggéey.
I found another guy working there.
dem naa ba 1 month sax si laa ko door a xam.
It takes me up to 1 month.
As of this time,
you became aware of that. Thank you.
Let I just round up that point.
Very well.
So that the evidence will be.
Very well.
okay, please.
I traveled, I came back, and I found another young guy there.
ma laaj CEO bi.
I asked, and it takes me 1 month before I became aware. I asked the CEO.
mu ne ma finance director moo ko indi.
And he said to me it was financial director who brought that job.
ma ne ko mu ne ma waaw.
I to them, say yes.
ñu dem ba si kanam.
We were there till later.
mu door di fayal kooku pour mu dem university.
Then he started paying for her to go to the university.
ak yeneen yoo xam ne.
And many things.
du fi jeex.
It's a lot.
da ngaa toog gis mu jël xaalis lebal councilor bi.
You see sometimes you get monies.
nga toog
Give it to councilors as credit.
gannaaw si daf doon oo nit ñi.
Sometime later he used to call people.
billaay wallaay di leen wax ne ndax.
I swear.
fen fu ñu lebal leen xaalis.
And say to them who feel like taking monies out, credit with monies.
ma oo CEO.
I called the CEO.
ma ne ko kii lu moo def nii.
And said to him what this man is doing.
moom ñoo sonal.
that it is disturbing us.
bi moo ñëw si council
When he was coming to council,
seetal ñaata ban façon ñun debt lañ amoon
you can check back how much debt we had.
ak bi moo génn
And after he left,
lan lañu fa bàyyi
what he left here.
All right.
fa déggee mu nekk fi di wax
Point, Chair.
Yeah.
Madam Lord Mayor, we will take a recess for 30 minutes. We will be back.
thank you
We may rise.